So we're getting more into why I took this trade over. I'm gonna break down this entire trade. So right here, that's a descending triangle. This pushed it down, and on a smaller time frame, it created a small little wedge. So further to the left here, let me see. There was a zone of rejection. So I was looking at the neckline of this W. Basically, it was bouncing off of that neckline. Notice how it's like exactly on that. So, and on top of that, reversal candle. So that single candle right there was the deciding factor that pushed it up. And on top of that, it closed that way on the weekly. So even though it's bearish, it's still a sign that it's going to go up. So I would think minimal at the 184 and then flip all over again. We're going to see what happens as it hits that area, or maybe potentially the 189, and we'll just see how it plays out from there. But to go further as well on a lower time frame. Okay, now we see a better picture of the wedge. So it came, it tested, it made a V bottom, which tested things all over again, but it never ever exceeded this low. It didn't come near it really. So with that in mind, it shot up. So we can call this a wedge as well, which shot up. It never came back to really truly test. So technically you could have entered there, which I believe I did. Yeah. I entered there yesterday, and then it shot up, and then I made a few more entries around this point, and then I closed them out as it. Oh wait, no, I entered right here on that wedge, cause that sign was there to push it down. That initially showed me a sign that it was gonna drop a while, but it was just short term. So you could have got those pips short term, but it created a whole new wedge which rejected it. And then we had to. I was looking at how it was reacting to this area because on the smaller time frame, by the time I got to the gym, it started making a small look like it was making a type of wedge, but sometimes it'll like make this and then it'll push up anyways. So I wouldn't really call it like a perfect wedge or anything, but it does little things like this that looks like, yeah, a rising channel. But then it's like a small pause where it just doesn't really do anything and then just shoots up, which is what it did. So what I did to combat that is I took some profits, but at the same time, I kept one of my trades open and then I just put my stop loss right under it, which is what you see me doing right here. Like even though this looks like it could have rejected because of that candle, it it wasn't like a full side of rejection, but instead of taking my profits, I was like, I'm gonna go. Sometimes you can look at whole numbers and do it, but it's best to kind of go with something a little bit off, so 50 pips off, well, micro pips, whatever. But yeah, I went to 17,955, and it just kind of went down nicked above it and then just kept shooting up anyways. But yeah, those are some little things that I actually do to kind of keep myself in the game. Like you don't always have to just take profit. You can just set up your stop loss. Like you can start well, stop loss a little bit below everything and then just progressively move it up to follow the trade. And then when the trade decides it wants to just drop on its own, hey, it'll do that. Or if you look later in the day and feel like it's going to fall, okay, now you're safe. This is a way that saves you from babying the entire trade. You don't have to baby your trade the entire time. I mean, yeah, kind of monitor it every once in a while, but if you know what you're doing, you put yourself in a position to where you can actually set and forget for a while and just kind of plan things out and yeah, manage it out. But overall, what's my target? My target is going to be probably the 1.18 400 and probably the strong zone up here depending. I want to see how it reacts to this area first because this is some strong bullish movement. So yeah, we can get something here and maybe a hit to the high here. It's retracing the monthly. So let's go to the monthly. Yeah, it could do a full on retracement to that monthly candle or 50% and then fall. So let's see how this plays out.